And hello, and welcome to our April meetup. I think I said in the March meetup, I said April, but this is the real April meetup. And we continue our theme with friends from around the world. And today we have Oana joining us from France. Oana is a wonderful Agile coach. I've had the chance to not connect only online through other coaches, communities, and Agile communities, but also we got a chance to meet in one of the conferences. And let's not tell what we did, because we did some trouble there, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to have Oana joining us today on a very interesting topic. She's going to mix the design thinking with theory and bring it together for a change. I also want to welcome our new I wanted to share this for a minute. I also want to welcome our new members that have joined recently. So welcome to our group, and hopefully you will find our sessions useful for you. And welcome back to our friends that have been with us for years and keep supporting us. Without much on my side, I'm going to stop sharing here. And Oana, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Ardita, for this warm welcome. I'm so happy to be with you. So close, so far away, and so close.
Yes.
So
thank God for tools.
Yes, exactly. So I'm in France. It's 6 p.m. now, and here. And the first thing that I want to say is that I'm really very grateful for your time. I know it's lunchtime for some of you, for others is maybe evening. So anyways, I really wanted to thank you for your time. And to present myself, because you said that the stage is mine, I like to call myself an agile leadership and business DJ who mixes whatever practices help individuals and teams become proud of their outcomes. So with this idea of mixing, I am mixing various practices, and two of my favorites are design thinking and applying design thinking for change by reinforcing the change with the pattern of theory U. So first of all, just a quick poll. Are you familiar, who's familiar with design thinking? If you can say yes in the chat or like that, okay. Okay, so a lot of, yes, a lot among you are familiar with design thinking, which is a very powerful approach for me to develop innovative products that are really user-centered, to what I call to create a solution for the implicit need, a need that those users are not aware of. And then I said, well, it's interesting. Why wouldn't we use design thinking for applying to transformation programs? And this is my second quick poll question. Are you familiar or involved in transformation programs in your organization or clients? Oh, okay, so some of you, I think the majority of you. So I don't know what is your experience with transformation programs, but mine is that people gather together, experts gather to create a transformation pattern. And then we try to deploy that pattern, eventually at scale or not at scale, or whatever. And we really stick to that framework or pattern. And I said, that's why my first idea is, why wouldn't we apply design thinking to create whatever pattern works, to create a change, to design a change that is really centered on the people that are impacted on that change. So does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It it reduces resistance to change, right?
Exactly. So I mean, we use design thinking to create great products.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't we use design thinking to create great transformations, great transformation programs? So that was my, let's say, first idea. Now, how do we think it works in transformation programs? And I will share my screen. I have three actually quick slides. So if a transformation always want to take us from the status quo, so the current situation, point A, and bring us to point B. Then you say, if we put design thinking in place, I'll say, okay, then we start with this empathy phase. So I'm using the D school model for design thinking. This is the D school, just for giving credits and for the record. So empathy, go and explore what is the ecosystem of the people that are impacted by the change. Then listen, then define what are their most important needs that are that we need to meet. And okay, and when we had that moment of Eureka, which is for me the most tipping point in design thinking, we have that point of view that allow us to see what is that need that we need to address. Then okay, then we create different ideas and services to address that need, and then we create a prototype, and then we see how people react to that prototype with a test, and then we eventually iterate, isn't it? And then we get to B. But in the real life, actually, and then that could be the end of the story. No, design thinking for change. But in the real life, even if we iterate, things don't really happen this way. And this is where my sharing screen is a little bit blocked. It happens sometimes.
It's following this doesn't happen in real life, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. No, so no worries. I will share it once again, and let's see if it wants to go further.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea here is, okay, it changes its mind. So it doesn't, in real life, it doesn't really happen on a straight line. Change doesn't happen on the straight line. Even if we iterate, we don't iterate over a straight line, because real deep change has another agenda. And this is where I bring in theory U. The most performant trajectory from A to B, it's not the straight line, it's the U form. To create real change, we need to reach the bottom of something, so to get up. And to reach the bottom, we need to let go a number of things. I will get in a little bit after. So now if we put this into the U, and definitely today it really doesn't want to work well. So we'll stop the share, no problem. I really learned to be cool with with so we can put the different phases of the design thinking on the U. So empathy to go a little bit deeper and have a deep exploration. Define is really reaching the bottom where we find the gems. Okay, I think that really for today doesn't want to work, so I won't put, I will directly put only the PowerPoint like that.
Technology is good when it works.
Yes, yeah, and even if it doesn't work, well, you know, so I will, is this a decent way to look at it?
Yeah, if you just close the animate button on top, so we have at least a bigger picture.
Yeah, yeah, but if I
No, not just the animate, not just the
blocks,
animate.
that's the thing. That's what
Okay.
I try to do, but it doesn't. So it's ideate, we get on, we prototype, and then we test. So then we say, okay, we put it on a U form, and so what? And here is, for me, what the power of mapping it on the theory U is, this is how we can empower the different phases of design thinking with the phases of change that are brought to us by the theory U. Theory U is a model of change, which then its slogan is to transform business, society, and yourself, is for me the only scalable change model, because you can apply it to yourself, to a team, to an organization, and to society. Theory U is a change model that has as an intention to have a positive impact. This is very important. It's not only change, the idea is to have a positive impact. So design thinking and theory U, I said, how we can give more power in the transformation programs on the phases of design thinking by bringing in the practices of the theory U. So what does mean starting from the point A if it wants to go on, and now it doesn't? I'm so sorry to stop this all the time. It's like for me, it's like an internet connection that doesn't work, you know. It works and then it doesn't work anymore.
Maybe just show the slides. It's okay.
Yeah, I think I will just show the slide like that, or maybe I will try this once again to do it quickly, because there's something in the fact that I'm pausing to you know, pausing to explain that blocks it. So I will just put everything in and then.
Yay.
Okay, and then I hope. This is the trickster. I wonder what the universe wants to say. What's the message?
Maybe stop a little bit more on each of these for us.
Well, I don't, yeah, I think that's what they want me to say. But, you know, if I stop too much, it blocks. So maybe the universe wants to tell me, Oana, you didn't find the right pace yet. So the starting point in theory U is co-initiate the change, state the intention. What is that intention as change agents that we have and that we wish to have a positive impact? And after stating the intention, what is really, really important to suspend our knowing and see the world with new eyes. And these are practices that can reinforce the empathy from design thinking. What is our quality of listening? Becoming aware and practice the quality of listening. Because we can't create empathy if we are not skilled to observe. So the theory we are invited to suspend our knowing.
Mhm.
Then if that is suspended and then we've trained our quality of listening, the next step is co-sensing. What do we sense in the field? Redirect the attention from what we are used to do, from our mental models, to what is really present in the field. And this is another practice, and that is really hard to put in place if we are not aware of it, is letting go of our beliefs and mental models. This is a very hard piece. And this is also very important if we combine the define phase of design thinking with the theory U, is that as an entrepreneur that creates a new product, or as a change agent that is fun of whatever approach or framework, we really want it to be adopted because we are in love with that framework. And actually we are in love with our mental models because we put a life into building them. So it's a very hard piece to say, let go of our beliefs and mental models. But this is what theory U really help us practice, how to let go and really come to this point to define something that is good for the people that are impacted by that transformation program. Not that we believe that is good
Mhm.
for them.
Oana, but I think we all can ask, right? So we.
Yeah. I can. I don't know what, if you want me to go through all of it or you want to ask right now.
I don't know. I was thinking to make it a conversation and ask.
Okay.
So the way I see this is also is not good only for the people that will be affected by the change, but also for the people that are bringing the change, right? So for the change agents, because they also come with beliefs and mental models.
Exactly, Ardita. And thank you for pointing that out, because the first people to apply this model are the change agents.
Mm-hmm.
So the first beliefs and mental models to drop are those of the change agents. Actually, I'm very fond of the saying that we can't change other people. The only person that we can change is ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we can give an example and invite the other people to follow that example if they think that's right for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So also in systemic thinking is, and as change agents, we are part of a system. If we change, we are part of a system. If we change, the system changes,
Mm-hmm.
because the systems will answer to our change.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment it answers to our change, it already changed. So this is a very, very important piece. What Otto Scharmer says that define the theory U is that a system cannot change if it's not aware of itself. And this going down on the U is really this process of awareness
Mm-hmm.
that we are building. And in this bottom of the U is what is called, is very important, is presence. Is stay really present in this moment of nothingness. Because, remember, we let go our beliefs and mental models, so that there's no references right now. And this is a very hard place to be. And this is what Theory U calls in, is stay with the presence and be comfortable in it, to really listen what is wanting to emerge instead of trying to push something in. And for as someone that I was involved in transformation programs, this is also why it resonated to me, and because this is a moment that in all transformations arrive. I mean, we go down on the U, and when there are no references, what usually happens, fear is in place, unconscious fear. And we go up to point A, try again, try saying that we are changed, but we didn't really change. We go up. So what is really important is to be present and listen. What it's called in theory, you let the emerging future come in. See really what is happening, and be able to listen to the borders of the system. A system can be very robust and doesn't really want to change. Mm-hmm. And then when it's ideate from a design thinking perspective, but ideate from a place of consciousness and presence, listening really what is emerging. And then we crystallize a new idea. It's really like prototyping. Even in Theory U, we say that we prototype. And then we really are in the point B as evolving together. When we have prototyped and brought this change into the world, as change makers and the people that are impacted, we co-evolve. So this is about Theory U and design thinking in a nutshell. And what I really wanted to invite you is to, after all this talk and a little bit conceptual, I would love to propose you an exercise, a physical exercise, to really go through the U, if you're okay with that. Okay, so I cannot stop sharing. Wonderful. So this is an exercise that for me really helps you embody this transformation of Theory U. It's called the stuck exercise. And I will explain it for a little bit. Think of a blocking situation in your life, something that you're stuck in. And if you have nothing that you're stuck in, I can give some of mine to work with. I have several. So if you have it, take a physical posture. So if you want to put your camera off, that's okay. Take a posture like a statue that represents your stuck. Embody that stuck. How would you represent it? So what is this for me? For me, it was like that. For example, stay in this position for a moment and pay attention of what is your physical and emotional sensations. You can also stand, whatever. Stay present to your sensations for a moment. And name this first posture by one word, with one word. So for me, there was like of ambiguity. but name it with the first word that comes to you. Don't try to think, oh, I don't know the word, I have to reach for that word. Just the first word that comes to you. It makes sense. And then gently let the body move, because no, the body doesn't want to stay in a stuck position. It's not sustainable. So move to a new position, and don't push that position mentally, say that I should actually move like that. Just let the intelligence of your body move, okay? And stay present to that movement. Let yourself guide by your body. And when your body wishes to stop the movement, take that new posture. Once again, stay one moment present in the new position. Pay attention to your physical and emotional sensations, and name that second posture to a second word. And after you have done this exercise, write the transition experience in the chat in that format, from word 1 to word 2, and then we'll have a discussion, a free discussion on the experience and on theory U, on everything else. So give you about 2 minutes to do that. Okay, do you have any questions? Is it clear? I'll put the instructions also in the chat. Wow. Thank you, Ardita and Lisa, for already doing. I would suggest you to take a little bit of time and stay with the posture and see if it's the same word. I'm launching.
You want me to really feel it?
Yes, I do. So I'm launching my 2 minutes. Let's say 1. And if you're done, we'll enjoy the rest of the time just being together.
We should play some music.
Oh, stay in silence. Enjoy the silence together. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. The 2 minutes are gone. So I can read from the chat a little bit. From minefield to balance, thank you. From tied to relief, from frozen to relaxed, from lost to thinker, from fear to power, exhausted to aware, exhausted to re-energized. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for staying with me within the exercise. So now it's open to to share your experience. How did that feel?
I needed that. It felt good, actually, to kind of be aware of yourself in that moment, and then to just let go and feel all the feelings as kind of go out. And then I feel like a different version of myself right now.
Mm.
Like I can start my afternoon better.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. This is our experience going through the you. Anyone else?
Well, this made me think of the fundamental paradox of Agile. You know, Agile and Scrum, they say you must do anything, absolutely anything that you can think of that works, except disobey the Scrum manifesto, which you must follow to every period and comma. And I'm like, what? You know, how does that make sense? This super stiff document is urging us to question everything except itself. And so it made me think of that. And also, I come from an electronic background, and one of the things I found to be an excellent metaphor is called the phase locked loop. It's one of the most spectacularly successful electronic circuits ever. Look it up, phase locked loop. And everyone is, you know, just as our system of technology has benefited greatly from the phase lock loop, so has evolution. And people home in on things, you know, they narrow the iterations to home in. And I urge you all to look up and understand the phase lock loop, especially how it can go wrong. Like there's one ideal version that works correctly, but there's 7 billion people in the planet, and every one of them has a different pattern of getting it wrong. And so thanks very much.
Welcome. Yeah, that's you made it more fluid, as you said. I feel fluid. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Who else? What?
I really liked the exercise because we can intellectualize all we want up here, but I have a lot of conversations with people that, especially since my company uses OKRs, they always want something to measure, and they always want it to be quantifiable. And I'm like, the most sensitive measurement tool you have is your gut.
Yeah.
So why don't you use your gut, use your body to not only measure, but also to remember? Because I'm sitting in the chair now. Tiffany, you had said how this is setting your day up for success. Now you feel better. I'm actually much more relaxed now because I stood up and did the exercises. So it lets me feel how I really want to feel. And I can hold on to that, and I can remember what it feels to feel balanced, instead of like before I was feeling like I was in a minefield that every step I took, something could explode. And this helped me kind of break through that. I'm like, I don't have to take that on.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. That's one of the tools, as the theory helps you to use all the power that you've got, including the data. I mean, the wisdom, but let's put it in a more techie way, the data your body has about you. And tap into that data that we usually don't. Thank you. Who else wants to share?
Hi, Oana, I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
So I was actually the first one to wrote how I felt, but when you told me to take another 2 minutes, actually I went back into, because mine was like from set to going, as in raring to go. But after the 2 minutes, I felt anxious again. So because the feeling of I still have a few more things to do after this session, just the feeling just came back to me. So it went the inverted U way.
Oh yeah. We'll talk, if we have time, a little bit of the absencing. But yeah, it's interesting to, I say that, stay try to stay with in presence instead of projection. That is something also that we have so we used to project ourselves in the future. I would say I love to work with fears, and what I say is actually now in today's world, what we fear is the projections of our minds, not the reality.
True, very true.
So thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you.
The next time, try to say 2 minutes and say, have this 2 minutes for myself to feel good. Thank you. Anything else?
For me, I can go next probably. For me, it was really a reminder of letting go of some models in the head. It's true that, you know, we have some models in our head, and no matter how many models you have to give yourself room for moving from one to another, you still are moving in boxes or in contained spaces. And to letting those go and just go with an openness on, well, maybe something else is there, or maybe a combination of these boxes is there, or something different. So that was a good reminder for me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ardita. Any other experience you want to share? Anyone?
I'm surprised Cheesy is so quiet.
he joined.
Good.
Yeah, he's enjoying silence. Did you do the exercise? Because I don't know. No, maybe I think yeah. I think he arrived a little bit later. So I have a question. What about the moment of silence, by the way? No, how was that for you?
For me, it was a reminder. Like today alone has just been crazy. It's been nonstop. And it just reminded me that I need to take a time for myself, I guess. And I don't do that enough. And I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm, you know, Scrum Master, but I, you know, need to take some time for just Tiffany. And so that 2 minutes, you know, being a statue and then letting go, and it just reminded me that it's okay to have, even if it is 2 minutes to yourself, look at the difference it makes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Silence is very useful to create awareness on a system. Our brain doesn't like void. That's why I say it's so difficult to pass through the U, because at the bottom of the U is this void, and we don't like the void. Our brain, for some reason, wants to fill all the places. It's in those moments of void that really breaking through things emerges. So, and you can also feel the system. Remember, I've told you, Dave, I've told you that through presence, staying in presence could feel the future emerge, and also that the system can be aware of itself. It's only in those moments that we can become aware of the system.
So, Oana,
my invitation is to be comfortable, to train to be comfortable with void.
Oana, how would presence and that void look in a scale, in a system? Because I can see it how this works on a personal, individual level. But what would that look like in a team or in an organization?
That that void in a team and an organization is that moment when whatever path we are on, we think that this is not working.
So the moment where status quo is realized that it's not good.
I think it's beyond the status quo. When we realize that the status quo is not good, is that gives the motivation to change.
Mhm.
You know, this is like in the heroic journey. A heroic journey starts when the hero has this trigger.
Mhm.
Now, while we are we are journeying and the organization and the team is journeying, you know, let's say agile transformation, there is this moment, I don't know if you feel a tipping point where things don't go so well with the new practices.
Mhm.
We didn't deliver in time. The team, well, we let the team self-organize and we are over the planning or whatever. It's those moments of chaos. Does it make sense to you? Did you feel that?
Mhm. Mhm. So moments where we find ourselves not achieving the purpose of the team or the purpose of the organization.
Exactly. Not only ourselves, even the team feels it. The managers of the team, you know, everyone is in panic.
Mhm.
And these are what I call the moments of chaos.
Mhm.
When everyone is a little bit in panic and try to fix it.
Yeah.
And usually we try to fix it saying that we go back to the status quo because at least we know how to work it. And actually, this is what I try to apply this presence with the practices from the presence of theory U. Is say, what is happening right now?
Mhm.
How brave are we to not going back to our mental models that we used, and stay with that void, and create this collective awareness.
Mhm. Mhm.
Individual and collective awareness of it. And I'm also passionate about the theory of the chaos theory. And the chaos theories is that disruptive evolution, a system has 3 states: order, disorder, or chaos.
Mhm.
And order is the balanced one. Disorder, there is no rule. Chaos is the third one, which is interesting, which is not disordered. It says that when a system reaches chaos, then disruptive evolution happens. And because it cannot come back to the state it was before.
Right.
So I link this with the theory you said, when this moment of panic and chaos arrives, when nothing is working, no practices are working, no scrum or the rubbish or whatever, let's do a planning.
But also chaos doesn't have to mean panic, right?
Sorry?
Chaos doesn't necessarily have to mean panic.
Oh, no, exactly,
In fact, there are a lot of teams that try to be in chaos all the time because, as you said, innovation and unique thinking comes out of that.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. But it's not a very comfortable state because it's continuous challenge. And a lot of organization and teams, actually, chaos is equal to panic. And one of the things theory U wants to bring in the intention is that chaos is not equal to panic.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos is equal to presence.
If you only ever step into chaos very infrequently, then panic ensues, right? But there's a lot of people and actually a lot of methodologies now who are saying that we need to spend a lot more time in chaos, you know, and disruption, because And as you spend more time in there, you become comfortable with that state. You become comfortable with that, and you start to really adapt the whole outside of the box thinking, the whole idea that we can take a lot of ideas and work together, so it's interesting thought. But anyway, I'm taking you on a tangent. Sorry about that, Oana. But
No, absolutely. It's now I say need to stay in chaos. It's not easy task, for people. We need, our brain needs stability, and it is very trained to detect danger.
Mhm.
So before we train our brain to see that chaos, it's not danger, we need a lot of compassion and presence.
Mhm.
I think.
It is hard for organizations to accept to be in chaos. It is always seen as a bad state to be. It is seen as well, we don't know what we're doing, we're wasting money, we're doing the wrong things. So no, we need to get out of chaos, versus seeing chaos as an innovative opportunity. So that's why large organizations or old organizations fight chaos rather than embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. And when we fight that chaos, I say, if we don't go through the presencing to really make things emerge that are innovative, and then we can use design thinking for it, we stay, instead of going through the U, and I'm just quickly share this with you, the last thing that I wanted to share, which is a little bit more on diving on the theory U. Instead of suspending our judgment, redirecting and sensing, letting go, we are we are tempted to listen what I call the voice of judgment, the voice of cynicism, and the voice of fear that makes us go up to the absence, which is denying. It's exactly what we deny, what the reality, and we become numb, and we try to entrench, try to create order. We entrench people. We hold on, and then that is what it's called the absencing. So I like to call it a numbing. And when we want to cross the chasm on that absencing or numbing, we manipulate. We are in a deluding mode. We are more in abusing, practicing, and we are disembodied, aborting and disembodying. And I love this. I wanted just to share this last model on theory U. What's happening when we are tempted to refuse the presence of chaos? We can go back on absencing.
How do you trigger a change when someone or a team or an organization is on the upper curve, but you want to bring them down to the down curve?
I think that the first thing is to bring them to the point A. And to the intention. And then, as I said, for me, what is really important is the quality of listening. Train your listening as a change agent, and understanding why are they in the denying mode. And then co-initiate, re-co-initiate with them. That really come, if I'm sharing it again, sorry. Okay, I think I hit record. So if they are here, what is interesting is to come them. This is an easy place. Where are we at? and then listen to them. If yourself, you listen to with an open mind, open heart, and open ear, and you drop this voice of judgment, voice of cynicism, and voice of fear, then you can do something for that team. And they can create also the awareness, what voice are they listening to?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. Does it make sense?
Yes. Yes. I wanna let others if they have questions. Lisa, do you wanna ask it?
Yeah. Hi. Just wondering also because I'm in healthcare sector, and actually chaos is challenging. I thought where especially where standard operating processes are important, such as in hospitals. But at the same time, a lot of the hospital systems have been untouched for years, trying to innovate and to improve the delivery of care. So just wondering, while we want to be innovative, I think a lot of the hospital, I mean, so far in the places that I've worked with, there's a lot of ways like design thinking, systems thinking, and all this to try to improve ways of delivering care. But at the core of it, when we go down to the front line, it is always very challenging because especially when we bring in, for example, nurses is in high demand everywhere. So everyone is just bringing in nurses, and a lot of times is a mix of different groups of people, different training. So SOPs are actually very much a safeguard for them to refer to, and to change SOPs is actually very challenging as well, because it needs to be in healthcare, it needs to be determined by clinical safety, patient safety, clinical standards. So just wondering what's your view on this as well?
Okay. Yeah, there are other domains and businesses where safety is very important. It's because it's also linked to life-threatening, just like in hospitals. Now, what we realize is that I think the situation we are in gave us a planetary systemic lesson on chaos. And what I think it's important is not creating big chaoses all the time. It's more about how we perceive a situation also as chaotic, and how we can get out of it in a way that it's not going back once again on known patterns. Because what happens today in healthcare or aviation, or if something happens, a tragedy happens, what we are doing is putting more and more procedures to try to fix the system, instead of staying with what happened and see what was the reason, the profound reason, and what is the opportunity we have. It's very tough to say that in a very tragical situation there's an opportunity, but we won't be able to really go further if we don't see it as an opportunity. I mean, I know that, for example, as you said, we try to apply design thinking to improve patients' experience, etc. Now, what I think design thinking is very powerful. That's true. But if we combine it with this awareness, consciousness, and trying to do an impact at different levels, it has even more power. Because it's not only we want to innovate something, to do things better. It's more profound than that. I don't know if that makes sense. It's also, but that's another approach that it's called. I'm not very expert in that. Is high reliable systems. that are applied in airlines, I think, and even in Air Force defense, which are exactly the system that say that each error is an opportunity, and they support errors. And you say, well, how can that be these environments that should be very safe? But the fact is that each time there's an error, it's important that it is reported to see what was the profound reason of it, and try to change, even people dynamics. All that goes together with a very safe psychological place, of course. The idea is that you can report error when they happen early, so you cannot, small chaoses may avoid destructive collapsing situation. Yes.
I was just going to throw out that some of the most amazing things that happen in hospitals happen in complete chaos. If you look at like emergency rooms, or you look at maternity wards, or things like this, where it is a lot of skilled professionals who know how to constantly look and monitor what's happening around them and adapt. That's the idea of chaos. And there's also a very famous company, and I'm forgetting the name. I believe they're in Norway. That they are a company that outsources nurses for home care. I'm forgetting the name, but there was a huge study over the course of 7 or 8 years where they actually eliminated all of their standard procedures, and the quality of care went up substantially, and satisfaction of the nurses was much higher as well. They had incredibly low turnover, and they were able to also dramatically reduce the overall cost of providing care. So I'm forgetting the name of the company. Ardita, I don't know, maybe if you can remember it or not, but
I don't, but it's from Reinventing Organizations, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So don't think that there's no industry that doesn't automatically already have this. It's about how do we leverage it? How do we, understand how to use it for strength, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to add on, Cheesy, but I thought that is also fundamentally the staff themselves are very strong in their expertise to be able to deliver that. So I think the challenge in healthcare is that there's so many, and I think organizations where, especially big organizations where you have varying levels of expertise, I think that's the challenge. Yeah.
So it sounds like the challenge then is if you want to really achieve that high performing goal, right, then how can we help our people achieve high performance? How can we help them grow?
Yeah, the role of the manager changes, right? We are at time. I'm okay to continue, but I probably people have other engagements going on. Oana, is there anything else you want to say before everyone starts leaving?
Well, thank you for everything. I have on, if people are interested to know more, I have I'm offering a course on design thinking for change, or mixing theory and design thinking for change, which is 4 half days, 3 hours and a half, once a week. That is delivered also in English. So if ever that's interesting for you, I'm putting the chat. And also, if you want to ask me more and continue the conversation, Ardita, I can give my email, or
people can find you for sure. Thank you, Oana, and thank you everyone for the questions and for the exercise. I love that we took it from an individual level and we brought it up to a team and to an organization. I think that that connects now on all levels for everyone. And yeah, so thank you for this session, Oana. On May, our session in May is going to be another good one with Gita, and keep an eye on our meetup for the details. So thank you, and wish everyone a great evening, a great day, wherever you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And thank you for letting us learning together, Arita.
Yes, this is a beautiful place for all of us to learn.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.